Hey, how's it going everybody? Once again, it's me, Krennic, and welcome to another CSGO video. And today I'm gonna do something that's been recommended to me, and I also wanted to try it out myself. We're gonna do some retakes, everyone, but the real question is, the new CSGO retakes better than the community retakes? Let's find out in this episode, but before we start, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Now we're gonna crack on with it. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see which one's better, but wait. One thing I did forget to tell you about is, did you know that on the 50% of my viewers are actually non-subscribers? So do me a favor, and if you haven't subscribed already, if you are within that 40% of people, please subscribe, because you could see if all of you subscribe, that would actually boost my subscribers to like up to 200, which is big. It's actually really big. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because I would really appreciate it. It would really let my channel grow. Now let's crack on with it and let's see which retake mode is better. Right guys, I'm gonna divide this video into like subcategories, and you can see them on the screen right now. And basically what's gonna happen is we are gonna compare both community retakes and CSGO retakes to every single one of those points, and each time one mode is gonna be better from the other one, that mode is gonna get a point. We've got 5 points. Let's see which one's gonna win. Alright, so starting off, we've got a buy-in menu, and I'm gonna hop in straight to the CSGO retake, because there is something really interesting about it. The buying menu looks absolutely fantastic. Like, obviously you can choose opposite side, you can choose the side of your own team, you can have bonus, which is either a pistol or a knob. You have certain things of utility as well, but they are quite random. So you not necessarily get an option of what utility you want to use, but you get some special bonuses. You are allowed to have extra grenades, none of your choice, if you get an MVP in a previous round. So I think that's a really nice feature. If you want to compare this into community retakes, then buying menu, in my opinion, is absolutely much complex. You need to like type it in a chat first, then you need to navigate through different weapons using your numbers on a keyboard, which I think is quite complicated, especially for people that are new to the community retakes. So I would definitely work on this. Similar thing with the grenades, you don't really get to choose your grenades. Another bad thing with community retakes in comparison to the CSGO ones is that you don't really get to choose the weapon of the opposite team. If you play as a CT, you use the CT weapons, and if you play as a terrorist, you use the terrorist weapons like an AK or an SG. This is not available in CSGO one. I think this really brings it down, because this makes the gameplay a little bit less realistic, because obviously, you know, you can collect weapons from your enemies from the previous rounds, which I think having an AK as a counter-terrorist can be a game changer, and also makes the game a little bit more realistic. But it also, I think, it gives that little bit variety of the weapons within a team. So I think this is a really nice feature. I'm gonna give a point to the CSGO retakes instead of community ones, because I feel like it just creates a better variety in a buy-in menu, as well as it looks much better. So 1 point to CSGO retakes. Another point is competitiveness or difficulty at the retakes. When it comes to retakes in CSGO, obviously it matches you with the people in a similar rank, even though you can't actually really see the rank. But what it does, it puts you against the opponents of the similar skill level, which I think is nice. However, for a person like me, in that term, I would probably use the community servers, and that's because I want to play against more challenging opponents. I always use retakes as a form of warm-up, and what I think is, if I want to warm up well, I need to play against opponents that are more challenging than I am, because that's the only way I am going to progress and I'm going to rank up. So in terms of competitiveness, I think community retakes are absolutely more competitive. I managed to get much less kills in a competitive one than in a CSGO one, because the opponents were much more difficult. So I think if I want to warm up well, I would actually use community ones. CSGO ones, they're nice, but I would not warm up as well, because opponents are simply not as challenging. as in the community service. So in this case, I'm gonna give a point to the community service. Now, when it comes to the map options, I need to give CSGO a big plus for this, because you don't really get to pick the map. However, you have all the maps from the competitive map pool available, including Ancient, which I'm not entirely sure why this is there. I'm guessing Valve is just trying to promote a new map, which in my opinion looks a bit like Aztec. I like it. It has a competitive layout, but I think there are some things to be worked on now, but that's not what the video is about, so let's come back to the retakes. Yeah, I think maps in CSGO retakes are much better because you have all the maps available in the map pool. The problem I've got with community map pool is that the main maps that are always, if you type in retakes in the bottom, it often takes you to either Cache or Mirage. It's often really difficult, especially for people that are new to the community service, to find maps that are not played as much, like Overpass, Inferno, Train, Dust 2. These maps are difficult to find on a retake service when it comes to community service, so I think I am gonna give another point to the CSGO retakes here. One huge thing I did notice in between is the fact that communication is really different when it comes to community retakes and CSGO retakes. From my personal experience, I think communication occurs much more often in a CSGO retakes than it does in the community ones, because I feel like community retakes focus mainly on aim base and coordination of an individual player rather than as a team. Everybody just lands at a random position and they just trying to do their job. I didn't really see much communication going on there. Unlike in CSGO 1, I would probably say they don't communicate as much, even though players are more challenging, more experienced. They do communicate, but I would honestly say not as much as in CSGO retakes. So I am gonna go CSGO retakes another point. Last point I am coming towards is defusal time. I feel like this is really huge. The problem we've got with CSGO retakes when it comes to defusal is the fact that we have to wait full time for us to defuse the bomb. If the bomb can clearly be defused within 5 seconds or within 10 seconds, knowing that the bomb is not going to explode, then please just skip on defusal. I think community service do this really well. As soon as you press on a bomb when all the enemies are dead, the bomb is just being defused instantly. I think this is really big because, like, obviously it's supposed to focus on the retake, and I think saving 5 to 10 seconds every single round really keeps the flow of the retake atmosphere that's going on in the game. So one thing I would say to Valve, in order to improve CSGO retakes, I'd say do it the way they did in the community retakes. When you click on a bomb, there are no terrorists left. If you want to defuse the bomb, just let it be diffused straight away. I think that would really keep the flow. It does create suspense, but if you know that bomb is obviously going to be defused on time, then please just press on a bomb, let it defuse, just say counter-terrorists win. It really would make retakes much faster, keep the flow going, keep the momentum. I think this is really needed in CSGO retakes. So in terms of defuse time, I am going to give a point to community retakes. So as you can see, guys, we have a score of 3-2 to the CSGO retakes. However, obviously CSGO retakes do require some improvements, as I mentioned, specifically in a defuse time. I think this is a big thing to work on, but right now I think CSGO retakes are better than the community retakes. I noticed there are some more competitive skilled players that are switching from community retakes to CSGO retakes because it simply looks better. I find it much appealing. In my personal opinion, I think I'm gonna shift away a little bit from community retakes and I'm gonna focus on CSGO retakes because, in my opinion, they look nicer, they are more fun, and I think we have a little bit of variety between the teams when it comes to weapon types. So I'm gonna give a CSGO retakes a winner here. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching another video. Let me know what you think about content like this. I'm not usually doing like a review kind of thing when it comes to gameplays, but I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe if you want to see more, leave a like and a comment down below. I'm Krenik, and may the force be with you.